Alrighty, so in today's video we're going to be going over creating Notion formulas, referencing different types of database properties, and sort of showing you how to slowly scale up your formula fields iterative in this short condensed video. We're going to start with the very basics, right? A formula has all these different properties that we can manipulate. It might be overwhelming at first, and it's often kind of tricky to wrap your head around everything at once, and so we're going to kind of go line by line at a time and start with the basic if functions, adding nested if functions, using the and or property, using the format function as well as Concat formula. So let's dive right into this. Do a very specific, very easy calculation that a lot of people know, and that's calculating profit. So the easiest form of formula manipulation that we can do is just numerical mathematical functions like you'd do on Google or a lot of different applications. Revenue minus cost. And notice how when the formula is valid, the done button turns blue. And I think that's going to be one of your most important indicators that you're able to move on and click away from this formula. I think rookie mistake that we often see is someone trying to work on a formula and then realizing that the formula is broken. And when the formula is broken, Notion doesn't save that in the field. And so what you actually end up having to do is the moment you click out of it, everything gets erased and you lose everything you tried to sort of create in your formula. So I think always make sure that the done button turns blue, and always make sure that if you're unsure that something's not going to work, to copy it beforehand before clicking out of the formula field, so that if you do accidentally click out of a broken formula, you can quickly just paste this lost, and you'll save a lot of time. And trust me, you're not going to want to write something that you spent 30 minutes writing and then losing it all, because I've done that and it's not fun. So anyways, what we did here is created this revenue and cost property. Now it outputs 5, right? That's a very easy formula that we've created here. But notice how the output is just a singular number. And when you pull it up into a gallery view or whatever, this is what that looks like, right? 5. So what does that actually mean, right? It doesn't really mean anything. Cool, we got a very basic formula output done. And I think this is where a lot of people stop. And so I'm just going to challenge you to keep going further and building on this formula. And this whole video will sort of surround interacting this sort of output that we've created with these other properties that I have laid out for this example. Obviously, pretty straightforward. I haven't changed the names of any of these properties. Here we go. Let's add the output. Your profit was this amount of money. In this case, we're going to use the Concat formula. Basically, that just combines a bunch of properties and text together. And so we can start with the text. Your profit was colon. Let's add the dollar mark by money, and we're going to want to separate that with a comma because this concat formula takes just one list of properties and strings. Close it, and notice how when you close it, the done is not blue, so it's a broken property or a broken formula property. And then we also get this error text: type mismatch prop revenue minus prop cost is now text. And I think we all have been there. We've got that error before, and so we can bypass that by doing format, open parentheses, close parentheses, and look how the done is now blue. And basically what that did was, let's change this number into a text format using this format formula. So now we can interact it with this text that we started. Your profit was $, the revenue minus cost. So when we click done, because it's blue, look how that output has changed. So now when you go to gallery, it says your profit was $5, not just the single 5. Right? And that's very basic, right? And I think this is a very handy way to create outputs in anything you create in Notion. And I think it's a very condensed, intuitive way of combining a bunch of these properties in one place, right? And for example, say we want to also include the person in this output as well, right? All we really have to do is add this. Let's add the text space by, and then let's add the person, right? See how easy that was? I just added this comma, quotation, add text, quotation, close, comma, and then you can add the property. And because the person property is a text, as you can see from this icon set, the formula said, boom, it's blue, it's ready to go. And let's see what that looks like, right? So right now, because we don't have a person, let's add that. And look what we just did there, right? Your profit was $5, and it was generated. Blue text, bam, or blue button. Look how easy it was to just add a little bit of text and add that auto-generated line via a formula field that extracts from 3 different fields, right? And this, I think, is one of the most powerful aspects of formulas because you can nest so many things into one property. And you're basically gluing everything together through this concat formula, right? What's important here is when there isn't person, it still looks like that, right? And because there's nothing in the person property, it looks empty. I think what's going to be important here is if the person property is empty, let's not show anything. So first, let's say if person property is empty, let's not show an output. And so what we can do, and the reason why I'm doing it this way is because we're slowly building onto this very basic formula that we started with, revenue minus cost. And in this example, we're going to add a if function so that if not empty, and it's going to be the person property. So in this case, I had to manually type it out because these options are kind of hidden and we're adding and building, and so Notion formulas don't always show your options, and so this is where a little bit of that manual coding experience can help. But I notice I just said the not, meaning if this is not the case, the empty, which says if a property is empty. So basically I'm saying if this isn't empty, with an empty text, you got to close it. And now we have to say if this is true, then do this, and if this is not true, then do this. And so we obviously want to output this concat formula if it is true. And so we're going to do comma to separate out, and then we got to add a comma at the bottom, the back of this concat, for if this is not true, then do this. And in our case, we just want to make it empty. So we're just going to add those two quotation marks to signify stay empty. And then notice expected brackets. This is some helpful text, right? Add a bracket. Now it is blue. We can accept it, and boom, right? Previously, if this was empty, we still saw this output. If I remove this, the output disappears, right? So this is, again, another way to nest and create that optionality by combining an if formula function with a concat formula function with some basic math that we've created here, right? If a person is empty, right, we don't want it to just be blank, right? We're going to build on this further by saying, so when the person is empty, what should we output, right? And in this logic formula that we've created, we've just said to output nothing. So now why not add a warning sign, or say input or assign a person to gain to see output. A cool trick, I think, is using the colon and then typing the sort of keyword that you associate the emoji with. Copy it. Boom. This is cool about property fields. Boom. Just give it a little pizzazz. So now when we do add those emojis, we give it that little extra pop. And when we do check it out, we can see that we have those two outputs generated from the get-go, right? No assignment. Assign a person to see output. Your profit was $5 and it was generated by me. And notice how if I remove this, same thing. But if I add it, it goes right back. So now we've created several outputs, a warning message for when a person is not assigned. What if the date entry is also empty? So if the date entry is also empty, in this case, we want this to be blank or give another warning sign, right? What we're going to want to do here is use or property to signify that if a date or person is empty, we don't want to show that output. So we can do this by building on this previous filter or this previous if function that we created, if not empty prop person. So we're just reversing this order by saying if it is not empty, then show this true output, and if not, show this second output that we wrote up here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to add this or. It's convenient that these conjunctions, the not and or, are highlighted in different text color because it can be helpful to space out how your formulas are slowly being built on. So in this case, if the property date is also empty, so we want to add that or, and this, we're talking about an empty date property. So we're going to follow that similar rationalization behind the person, which is if it is filled, then show our output, and if not, show this. So find that. Sometimes the clicking is easy. Sometimes you can just type it out. It's personal preference, and obviously every person structures their formula differently, and this is just the way that I like to do it because I feel like it's an easy way to build on it, iterate on it, go further with it, right? It doesn't need to be complicated if you're taught the right way. Notice how adding the or not and then empty prop date, which is identical to this, comes out with this blue done, We're going to click on that. So notice how if I just add the date there, even without the person, profit output happens. Same here, right? If I add this date, oh, but now it's still showing generated by blank, right? Because the person is blank. Notice how now if either the person or date is filled, it outputs. And this is just to illustrate that OR function where if one or the other is empty, then show the output. In this case, we want to use an AND function and not an OR function, right? So let me just change that real quick. Again, it turns brown because AND and OR are that similar connector formula type, and now we can click on Done. So now we can't just have a date, we also need a person. And when we have both, we get this output. And that's different from if we just had one, either a date or person, it would show that way. The OR and the AND, very helpful to sort of understand the difference. And you can add more than just two of these together, right? If you want a certain set of conditions and output stuff. Obviously, we're just scratching the surface with Notion formulas. Please like the video and stay tuned for the next formula tutorial. Thanks.